Wow, this bit right here is so good on what is magic and how to access it.
Something one learns from reading books. In fact, the Gnostic state refers to an altered state of consciousness, which is achieved through various taboo activities, which range from rhythmic music and dance to taking psychoactive substances, focused meditations, and orgiastic rituals. The goal of this altered state is to bypass the filter of the conscious mind, and it's in this sort of trance that one allegedly has access to not only greater psychic awareness, but a greater external paranormal influence, which can also be defined as magic.
Right there. And right up here coming on Aleister Crowley and magic is so illuminating. It's in that altered state. And that's why the first Hermetic principle is all is mind. You know, and basically, the first Hermetic principle, the all, is talking about the all. And it's almost like the first rule is we must know God. We must access super consciousness. We must access these heightened states of consciousness in order to see, in order to receive a higher plan, in order to receive power, right? We go through our lives trying to influence the world from a lessened state, and then we get attached to different things in the world. But we don't realize that if we seek God first, if we know God, all shall be added unto thee, right? Because you access magic through that super consciousness. And, it's kind of what I'm realizing in my life is like, the practice of something like Kriya Yoga is a practice to alter states of consciousness, using the force. And through that, through deepening that connection, right? This altered state, you sense reality differently, right? From there, like your thoughts, your words are so powerful.
The occultist Aleister Crowley had also argued that the key to magic was an altered state of consciousness, whether attained through meditation, sexual practices, or the use of drugs. That said, the seven principles laid out in
Or the use of drugs. Wow. Definitely.
Kabbalion make no mention of these practices. I simply include them in this presentation to give a broader historical their reaction to events by maintaining a degree of detachment to create a state of consciousness that is not as susceptible to the falling seasons of our life.
The law of rhythm.
The master does this consciously and by the use of his will, and attains a degree of poise and mental firmness almost impossible of belief on the part of the masses who are swung backward and forward like a pendulum.
It's the art of neutralization. Art of neutralizing the downward swings of rhythm of the pendulum.
The masses of humanity live on a mental and emotional roller coaster. The idea is to attain a state of consciousness of divine indifference, even-mindedness, and inner peace. This balanced state might sound boring, but it's actually more like an eternal feeling of bliss. The idea is to stay even-minded and consistent, whether you have profit or loss, pleasure or pain, victory or defeat, rejection or praise. The goal
Pursue even mindedness first. The world will always be a roller coaster. Always. But the law of rhythm, the stars, the correspondences, they only affect you in the seen world. The seer is always constant. And that's where bliss is. It's union with God. It's super consciousness. And when we pursue even mindedness and the knowledge of God, right, we attain to this state in which the throes of life we smile at, right? Through the eyes of wisdom, we watch things go with a smile. and already sense a new thing coming in, right? We watch the tide go out and come back in, and it's reassuring almost. You know, it's happening on a lower plane, which you observe and are a part of and can influence. Law of rhythm and even-mindedness.
Goal being to attain a point of objectivity or divine attachment, and to remain neutral and not get caught up in the polarities. If you attend a sporting event and strongly associate yourself with one team, you then subject yourself to the emotional highs and lows when that team wins or loses. Now, I understand that this excitement is why people enjoy following sports in the first place, but it's just an example to illustrate that you participate to the degree that you are subjected to the swing of the pendulum by your own attachment to any particular outcome.
The more attached we are to Earth plane, the more we run from swings of the pendulum, the more extreme they become. Because the more attached we become to a certain outcome. To neutralize the law of rhythm is to become a Jedi. You know, where attachment is forbidden, yet great compassion and awareness.